Hello and welcome. I'm Jenny Hall. Thanks for joining me for another card making tutorial. Today I'm creating an explosion box card that's a lot of fun. It looks like a box, and when the lid's removed, the flaps open for a surprise on the inside. I'll be using some new products from the upcoming holiday catalog from Stampin' Up. Cauldron Bubble Bundle is 10% off and coordinates with the Toil Trouble DSP. There are framelits that actually cut out some of the units on the designer paper, which is perfect because it saves me time for coloring and allows me to use these pre-printed objects or images in something a little bit more special like this card today. So I'm starting off by cutting out 3 cauldrons, and they can be of any color. There's different colored bubbly stuff on it. And I've folded each one in half and glued them together so that they are going to form a 3D type of look. On the paper there are some little cute witches that have brooms and not brooms. So I found the witch that accompanies the framelit, as they don't all match the framelit, and I die cut a frame. So now to make the box, I'm going to cut a strip of paper, basic black cardstock, at 3.5 inches and then cut at 7 inches. And then I'm going to score this in the middle at 3.5. So what I'm forming here is a side flap and a bottom flap. I'll make 4 units exactly like this. Using my bone folder, I'm going to burnish on all of those different folds, and as you can see, once the bottoms are laid together, they will form the sides of the box. The only thing that's going to hold the box together is going to be the lid. To decorate the outsides and the inside flaps, I'm using some of the coordinating paper, and I'm cutting the strips at 3 by 3, cutting the squares at 3 by 3. I chose a piece of paper that would look nice on the inside and on the outside, and I'm coordinating everything with the little characters that are on the inside of the project. So I thought the stripe would look really nice as just a directional type of pattern, because this is going to look like a box. Here you see when it'll all kind of be cohesive. So making sure before I go any further, I check the flaps to make sure that I got them in the right place. And then I flip the paper over, and that's the great thing about Stampin' Up's Designer Series paper is the other side always coordinates. So to decorate the inside, and these are going to be standing objects, I've taken just a very small strip, it's maybe 1/4 inch, of basic black cardstock, and I'm folding it, the little piece, in half and attaching like an L bracket, one piece to the standing object and the other part of the L bracket to the bottom area of the card base. This is just enough to get the objects to stand in place. The fun part is being able to choose what objects I use and the placement. There can be all sorts of possibilities with this type of card making design, and I have a lot more ideas, but I wanted to keep things simple for this project just so that it will explain things in a very easy to duplicate way. There's also a framelit for this cute little kitty, and the pieces are so cute in this Designer Series paper. It's called Toil Trouble, and it will be available on September the 5th in my online store. I do plan on making an online class for this particular bundle, and it will be a lot of fun. Lots of fun holiday ideas. So I'm stamping now the sentiment on a square of Whisper White, and I'm going to stamp it in black and then use coordinated ink and new Stampin' Blends Mango Melody in order to get a look of the same colored stars that are in the highlights of the designer paper on the inside. The little witch has different colors on her, and one of those is Mango Melody. And I think that this color translates itself out very easily to being stars. It's not a yellow, it's more of a yellow gold. So I'm taking one of the ends of the Stampin' Blends marker, and on the large open stars, I'm filling them in with color. And then there are some other smaller stars that it's going to kind of look like it's dispersed a bit. And I'm going to mount this onto a piece of basic black cardstock that is just slightly larger than the square itself. So this will be kind of like the hallmark of where the front of the box is going to be. So I want this to be very obvious that when the box is being held by whoever receives it, that this is where they're going to hold it, in the front, facing them. And then all the characters are also facing the same direction. So that was very important for me to be able to get someone to be able to understand it. Now the lid is created just like the box is. I want it to fit over the box that's 3.5 by 3.5. So that means that I will need to make my box area, the lid portion, just a little bit bigger so that it'll go easily off and on. So I cut the piece to 4.5 by 4.5, and I scored around the edges at a scant 1/2 inch, and that's going to give, or scant 1/4 inch. That's going to give me enough room to make the lid go on and off easier. This is a concept that when you create 3D packaging with a lid that you may already understand. But if this is new to you, then if my box were if the flat area were the same exact size as the explosion box, then it's going to kind of nestle on top, but it won't fit over. So just giving that little, like a 1/16 of an inch extra between where the edge and the score line meets, it will allow the lid to just go right on and fit straight over it. And to decorate the top, I've got more of that designer series paper, which is so incredibly versatile. And inside, I felt like I needed to do something to cover the bottom of the box, just to give it a little something extra. So I'm adding some very small dots of glue from the fine tip glue pen, and I have here the Dazzling Diamonds glitter. Now, if I would have thought about it ahead of time, I would have done this before I attached the characters and before I attached all of the flaps together, but I didn't. It was an afterthought. So I've got a little bit of glitter that once this becomes completely dry, I'm going to use a dry paintbrush and sweep away all of the glitter. On the front, I'm adding a few basic rhinestones that are self-adhesive, and that's going to bring a little shine to the front as well. So as you can see, the lid fits over easy, and once the lid is removed, then all the pieces just kind of explode out. I hope you like this project, and I do plan to make more. This will be a really fun Christmas project too. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. All of the products that you have seen used today are going to be available in my online store, and I so much appreciate your support with your purchase. It helps me to be able to bring more video tutorials to you. If you have any questions, please leave a comment, and as always, all of the measurements and instructions are printed down in the video description, and there's more information on my blog as well at jennyhalldesign.com. Thanks again. I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching the video. Have a good day!